Oakland, I'm Suz Robinson, and as you can see, I'm here at the police station today, and I want to talk about something happening right now in Oakland that perfectly illustrates some of the leadership failure that we've been dealing with. So here's what's going on. The CHP were sent to Oakland to support our police officers last year, but they're actually ending up doing their jobs for them. And they didn't come here for that. They didn't come here to be Oakland's police department. They came here to support our department. After fielding a lot of complaints from the CHP last year, Governor Newsom sent us a letter demanding that we change our police pursuit policy. He told us in the letter, "I write to express my concern over the current state of the pursuit policy and its consequences on public safety." And he's right, this is a public safety issue. Our police officers are only allowed to chase suspects involved in violent crimes like murder or carjacking. But unlike most other cities, the policy does not allow them to chase for felonies unless they are violent. This includes drunk drivers driving erratically, robbers who smash into storefronts. And not only that, but before they can even chase someone, they have to get their manager to approve. I mean, imagine that. But of course, there isn't time to get the manager approval, so they often don't even bother. And the result of this is that our officers are rendered powerless, and criminals have become so emboldened. They know they can get away. They're taking full advantage of this. Check out this video from X where somebody crashed into an OPD barrier, and then they come back to taunt the police officers later, knowing that there's absolutely nothing they're going to do about it.
This is the Oakland Police Department. You want to leave the area west on Woodhill Boulevard.
Our police commission spent 7 or 8 months analyzing the pursuit policy, and then they came back with a response to the governor end of last year, basically letting him know, hey, you know what, Gov? We don't really have to do what you say. Our policy's good, we like it. And by the way, we're not going to take any action. No action. Needless to say, this did not go over well with our CHP partners, and the governor was furious. He went on national news, and he gave Oakland an ultimatum: either fix this policy or lose over 100 CHP officers who were sent here to support us. In response, City Council wished the governor a happy holidays and didn't even mention the ultimatum that was given only hours earlier. Then the public got upset, bombarding the city with emails, public comment, going through other portals. And then, once the public was angry, we did start to see some action. Sort of. I mean, here comes the hot potato game, right? The police commission blamed the city council's public safety committee. Then they turned around and blamed the police chief, saying him and only him is responsible for the policy. Then the police chief passed that hot potato back to them, saying, well, actually, you're partially responsible in the negotiated settlement agreement. Hot potato, who's got the hot potato?
The choir of blame that's been placed on OPC at the highest level of government.
You, the commission, now state that it is not in your jurisdiction to change the pursuit policy. If so, then why did you accept to review it back in September? If so, then why issue a recommendation to not change it?
You know, even though Governor Newsom demanded a policy change like months ago, suddenly OPD starts scurrying around like as if this is all new information to them. And then they come back with some data and point out, hey, you know what? Actually, it is long overdue to review our police policy. It's been years since we've done it, and the environment's changed.
One, it is time, because our policy is almost 11 years old, to review and either reaffirm, revalidate, or revise our policy.
Then Police Chief Mitchell proposed a couple of amendments, which includes allowing our officers to chase if a felony is committed, which is more in alignment with other cities in the US, and that we get rid of the manager approval clause. So why hasn't the policy been changed, right? I mean, hot potato, who's got the hot potato?
And I want to make sure that everyone understands that. I sent that document to this body to review and provide comments. I am not asking you to take an action at this point in time.
Instead of just acting now, the city wants to pass the hot potato to you, the voters, and make you responsible. And that's going to take, what, 10 more months to get this on the ballot in November? In the meantime, we have the worst public safety crisis in Oakland's history. And keep in mind, if we wait 10 more months, that means it's going to be almost 2 years that it will have taken our city to make one decision on public safety. So you can kind of see, right, that throughout this process, we have a system that is actually designed to eradicate accountability. Because when everybody is responsible, nobody is accountable.
Is we've been hurried up because of the actions of the governor to say this needs to change, to forego some of our processes to properly review and look at every every piece of this policy, and to have everyone who is a stakeholder in it the opportunity to look into it.
So what are we waiting for? We can amend the policy immediately. We can keep CHP support, address our public safety issues right now, and if there's a need for further review, do the review then, okay? You can change the policy now. You can change the policy later. You know, the other thing about this is policy is one thing and people management is another. And Oakland has become so mired in its bureaucracy that it's coming up short on the people management side. Just because you make some changes to a policy doesn't mean your officers have to go rogue. In fact, our policy clearly states that if the officers don't feel safe or they don't feel like it's safe for the community, they don't have to chase. And there's no requirement for that. So look, Oakland, you know, we've seen this game over and over again with this city, and it's costing us our safety. Criminals know the rules. They're exploiting our weaknesses to run around wild in our city. Oakland's become a playground for criminals because of leaders who are so focused on passing off that hot potato and blaming everyone else, and making sure there's no accountability in this situation. They're playing a game of hot potato with our lives. Oakland needs a leader at the helm of this city who will light a fire under people's asses and who will drive results and who will not allow a 2-year process to take action in a crisis. It's time for change. We can't afford this paralysis any longer. I'm Suz Robinson and I'm running for mayor because I believe Oakland deserves real leadership. A leader who isn't afraid to make tough decisions, who understands that public safety has to come first. And a leader who's going to grab that hot potato in her hands and hold on to it, even if it burns, and end this game once and for all.